Welcome back to the Panic Room, guys. So I thought it would be a good idea to get a little different of a perspective. Nobody wants to listen to the teacher all the time, right? Plus, I don't know where she went. I think she went that way. So today we have yet another Edward Gorey book, The Doubtful Guest. So before we even open it, I haven't read it yet. Before we even open it, let's just take a look. Did you guys get any like Plague Doctor vibes? Take a look at his face. It screams like Plague Doctor to me. Let me know down below if that's what you got from him. So we have just our little guy here, and I'm assuming that he shows up at someone's house, possibly unwanted. But let's dive in, shall we? So page 1 already doesn't disappoint. We get that Edward Gorey child with the dark eyes, just looking very morose. Again, lending itself to just a sense of foreboding. Oh, and might I add, this book was copyrighted in 1957. So, yeah. He's been doing this a while. I don't think I've mentioned that, but these books have been out for quite some time. But let's get started. When they answered the bell on that wild winter night, there was no one expected and no one in sight. Then they saw something standing on top of an urn, whose peculiar appearance gave them quite a turn. So we see our first instance of our guest. Ah, the artwork already. I'm already loving it. All at once it leapt down and ran into the hall, where it chose to remain with its nose to the wall. It was seemingly deaf to whatever they said, so at last they stopped screaming and went off to bed. So there it is with its nose to the wall. Could you sleep with something like that in the house? I don't think I could. It joined them at breakfast and presently ate all the syrup and toast and part of a plate. It wrenched off the horn from the new gramophone and could not be persuaded to leave it alone. It betrayed a great liking for peering up flues and for peeling the soles of its white canvas shoes. At times it would tear out whole chapters from books or put roomfuls of pictures askew on their hooks. Yeah, I love the detail here in the wallpaper and even the texture of the chair. Just a masterful, masterful artist. Every Sunday it brooded and lay on the floor, inconveniently close to the drawing room door. Some of these are just chuckle-worthy. Now and then it would vanish for hours from the scene, but alas, it's discovered inside a tureen. And I had no idea that that is what this was called. In the South, we just say punch bowl. It was subject to fits of bewildering wrath, during which it would hide all the towels from the bath. That is pretty cruel. In the night through the house it would aimlessly creep, in spite of the fact of it being asleep. It would carry off objects of which it grew fond, and protect them by dropping them into the pond. It came 17 years ago, and to this day, it shows no intention of going away. Interesting. So, that is the end. Ambiguous, just like we've come to know from Edward Gorey. What do you think? I can tell you the first thing that jumped to my mind was a child. Someone who had a child 17 years ago, and we were watching some of the progression. For example, I was thinking that perhaps it being morose and laying in front of doorways was every parent's nightmare of not knowing what their teenager is feeling at that particular moment. That's also echoed in fits of bewildering wrath. That was what I was thinking as I was reading through it. And, even going back further, finding the child in a very odd spot or doing odd things, as a child with a big imagination can be wont to do. So that was my take. Now, whether or not that's true, who knows? But that's the beauty of art, right? We can kind of read into it as much as we want. But guys, tell me down below, what do you think? And if you happen to know where the teacher went, let me know. So thank you for coming to this very special student edition of Pax's Little Library of Horrors. Please give us a like, hit subscribe, and I guess I will see you next time. Bye for now.